Hello dear Scorpio, welcome to my channel. My name is Adela. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I use astrology, numerology, psychology and self-realization teachings to make my readings. I will be doing a yearly reading for 2020 for the sign of Scorpio, sun sign Scorpio. And I will be shuffling the cards for you here, and I want to choose them. I will get one card for each of the months. Then I will sit with them for a while in order to make an appropriate reading and to find the highest interpretation of that reading, and then I will come back to you to do the reading for you and with a little piece of advice. So 2020 will be a very positive year for all of us, for all of the zodiac signs. And according to the readings that I see now, for you too, dear Scorpio. And this positive uplifting for 2020 is due to Jupiter, the planet of good fortune, good luck, expansion, bringer of gifts and satisfactions, moving to Capricorn in December 2019 to stay there until December 2020. And this move of Jupiter in Capricorn means that we will be finally achieving some things in 2020 and working consistently on things that we already started this year, 2019, or a year ago. And Capricorn energy gives us that needed structure just to conduct further what we are wanting to achieve in our life, and to be very firm and to be not distracted and to be very goal oriented and achievement oriented. So maybe 2019 and 18 have been a little bit more difficult because Saturn was as well in Capricorn, and Saturn has, let's say, brought us all the needed work and tests that we had to go through in order to expand and develop and upgrade ourselves. But it has not been so easy because we have been tested quite a lot. But now in 2020 we will start feeling and getting results and feeling that these things that we were trying to implement or started to implement, these changes in our personalities and in our life, are finally there. Or at least we feel now in 2020 more secure that things are going in our direction and as we want them to be. So yeah, and that's good for you as a water sign, Scorpio, because yes, Capricorn, it's an earth sign, so it's all about structures, it's all about firm foundations, So you need, as a water sign, this is something that you actually needed in your life. So you have been probably started to integrate more structure into your life. Probably starting from a longer period, since 2008, because Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008, and then Saturn joined at the end of 2017, and now Jupiter is in Capricorn since end of 2019, and this constellation of planet has not been like this since more than 2000 years. And having this major slow planets in the sign of Capricorn or in an earth sign, it is good for you because it influences you in a way that you actually need it as a water sign. You need this firm fundaments of the earth sign. And now with Jupiter, finally things will become a little bit more satisfying. You will feel more satisfied. Yes, beautiful. And this transition of Jupiter in Capricorn, it's happening in your third house. And third house rules a mind and mindset, rules siblings, rules neighbors, short trip, and very importantly communication. So in 2020 you will be probably feeling a big expansion or change or development in one of these or in many or more of the topics or the fields that I mentioned. But keep in mind mindset, keep in mind close relationship, and keep in mind communication. I think this will be a very important year for you in terms of communication and mindset shift and changing and establishing. But let's start. So we have in January the Fool, which is the beautiful card to start the year. And this tells me as well that this is the energy that you have been entering and you have been taking with you already from the end of 2019. And the Fool is the first card of the major arcana. The Fool arrives in our life after we have been doing a lot of work in different fields of our life. And this is a major shift in understanding for you and in the way of approaching things and in the way of acting. So the Fool is a sort of a very hopeful, very optimistic energy. It's about taking a leap of faith in a direction that is maybe still a little bit unknown to you. But it's a powerful moment because we all need those moments where we just trust that things will go well, when we trust that the sun is there and we are where we should be, and we just want to try out something that maybe we were afraid to try out 2 or 3 years ago. But because of all the developments and because of all the Saturn tests and growing developments that you have done so far, you finally arrive at this moment when you say, I'm going to try it out. I have nothing to lose. Or even if I do have something to lose, I just want to try it out. I want to give it a try. And maybe this is something related to your passion, to your work. But as I said, it's more a shift in your mindset. You have been changing your mindset, and maybe even changing your mindset about things related to you, to yourself, how you see yourself. Because depending on how we see, perceive, and experience ourselves, we then make choices in our everyday life. But the Fool here with the number 0, it's like a new beginning, and it's a wonderful beginning, and it's a very powerful beginning, and it's very sunny, and it's guided because you have the sun in the back, and of course there is still some ice in the mountains, but all the rest, it's a beautiful promise, and you have a flower in your hand. So instead of concentrating on all the things that are difficult, on all the things that have been like this forever, maybe this ice in the mountains will never melt, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't start doing something just because things are not changing in the big picture. And you are concentrating on this flower, which is beautiful, and you have your dog, a sort of companion there, being happy as well with you. And we know dogs are intuitive. If it would be dangerous, probably the dog would not be so happy. And the other thing with this card is that the Fool here looks like he is singing or talking and expressing himself. It's a card of expression, and it's a card of taking actions as well in the real life. So you are having this major shift, or you already have had that in 2019, and you are starting the year like this, with this beautiful energy of showing up, showing yourself, communicating, voicing yourself, voicing your interests, voicing your presence, voicing your thoughts, and going out and trusting. The Fool, it's totally trusting himself and trusting the universe, that he will be supported. And sometimes this is all we need. We just have to try. We have to go out there. And you already started with this energy last year, and this is the beginning of 2020. And it's very beautiful. In February, you have the Queen of Swords, which is very beautiful card to have after the Fool, because this means that, yes, this is the leap of faith. This is the first step that we need to do in terms of a shift, a decision. It's this enthusiasm, it's this positivity, it's this change in the mindset. But that's not enough. That's just like the first step. After that, if we don't take decisions, if we don't work in that direction, that we are taking this leap of faith, things will not change. And this is beautiful, because it's almost like, okay, Fool energy, you served me, I appreciate that, I'm out there now, but I am focused, I am creating a vision, I am planning, I am working, I am willing to do that work which is necessary. This was just the energy launching you in what you want to do. And the Queen of Swords in February tells me that you are focused, you are doing the work, this is not a joke, and you are keeping your position, and you are having a plan, and you are being clear, and you are cutting through the clouds. And there is a beautiful bird here, which is as well a promise for the future, a sort of freedom. Maybe right now you have to work, you have to sit, you have to be more concentrated, but you are looking at the future and you know that one day you will be more free maybe than what you are now. But most importantly, you are directing this full energy into work, into will, into action. And you are sort of having a plan and working towards that and totally secure in yourself, which is beautiful, and being very analytic as well. Being very mental. It's not just an emotional thing, this path of yours that you are taking. You are thinking it through. You are being in this energy that maybe you haven't been in this energy for so long. And you are communicating it, because swords are as well related to communication. The queen here, it's giving advice, or is order, instructions. She's talking, she's communicating her will. You are communicating as well your will. It's not just an internal thing. It's not only you doing it. Maybe you are out on social media promoting yourself or coming out with this new idea. And you are being very persistent, and you are being very firm, and you are being very hardworking, but very posed as well, which I like a lot about the entire 2020. You are very centered. In March, we have the Death card, which is a card of Scorpio. And it even makes more sense here than in other readings, because a lot of people are afraid of the Death card. But as a Scorpio, this is like your second nature. This is that part. This is a part of your nature. You don't bring that always out, but you always have the possibility to bring it out. And I think with this maturation process that has been happening to you due to Pluto and Saturn and now Jupiter in Capricorn, I think you are more in control of this aspect of yourself, because you know the death comes here and comes, let's say, for all, and some people are still praying that the death does not take them. So maybe before, when you were younger or not so mature, you used to come out with this energy of death more inappropriately or everywhere. And now I think you are more in control of this. And this death, which is appearing here, it's more of something that is related to an older part of yourself. It's something that you have left behind, something that you are letting die. And maybe it's even that previous image of yourself that you had and before taking this leap of faith that you were carrying for so long. So it is more than that necessary, this process of transformation, because death, it's transformation. It's not an end. It's the end of something and the beginning of something else. And this skull here, it's laughing. It's almost like, yeah, this is what is supposed to happen. And you are almost really, like this death was on your way. You are almost causing that death. And it's necessary. If you want to show up as a fool, if you want to show up as a queen of swords, you have to die maybe as something that you have been before. And maybe as well, some things that you did in your life, you are letting them go. They are not anymore there. You are not giving any more attention to them. So it's like they are done. And the other thing with death is that it's almost like the last step of your transformation process. Because as we see here, we don't see the other cards in front of the Fool, but you have been going a huge transformative process until you arrived here, until you take now this direction, and it's over. Sort of what is happening before, it's over, and you feel it now. You feel it in March that it's over. Something it's finishing, and transformation is finishing. So you are leaving some old parts of yourself behind. And the sun, it's here, which is beautiful too, because the sun is here as well behind the Fool. So this is the promise. This is what is coming after this transformation and after this work. It's the sun. In April, we have the High Priestess. And I love the High Priestess card. It's to me, a very mature, deep, very calm, and very concentrated energy card. And in April, for me, this indicate as well that internal work that you are doing. This is something that is happening outside the Fool and the Queen of Swords. And the death, maybe it's something that happened between the inner and the outside world. There are parts of your inner self that are dying and you are leaving behind, and there are parts of you that you used to carry in the outside world that they are dying and transforming. While the Highest Priestess, it's something that is related mostly to an inner situation or feeling. So this is you maybe even relocating, taking more time to go deeper after you have set these goals and these plans, and after you feel you have finally left something go for good forever. You are in April spending more time inside. I mean, doing more internal work, meditation as well. For me, the High Priestess is a meditation card, and finding that balance between worlds as well. We have here the black and the white column, and maybe the black can signify the night and the darkness, and the white, the day and the light, and you finding that position between the outside and the inside world, because we know as well that every change has to happen first inside of you before it happens outside of yourself. But I like the High Priestess has this serious this serious impression with this column, but this background, it's like Yes, it's amazing, the background. It's very fruitful, very colorful, very as serious as she is and she looks, I think as creative she is as well. And we have here the moon, which is important as well for this moment of reflection. So you are reflecting basically in April, and you are taking time to do the inner work, because all this change is started as an inner process. And I'm saying that as well because you have at the bottom of the deck of your cards, you have the Hermit. And for me, this is like an energy that is underlying the entire reading. So it's like almost for every step that you do, you go back as an hermit with this light, and you have a moment, you take time to reflect if this is in line with your higher purpose and with a certain wisdom that you have been inquiring and that you are keeping as well all the time. So this inner work, it is something that you keep on doing all the time. And this hermit energy is as well something that you take. And another thing that just occurred to me is that maybe, this is it's a solitary process still, what you are doing here. You are alone. Like the hermit, he has to be alone in order to understand a certain wisdom, or the high priestess. And then after they have gained the knowledge that they have to gain, then they go out and share it with the world. But just saying this is, you might be feeling a little bit alone. But just know that this is a necessary process that you have to go through. And always keep in mind this energy of the hermit who needs this process, needs this wisdom, because he knows that this is what he's supposed to do and what the world needs from him and what will guide him. In May, we have the Chariot. And I love the Chariot, especially after the High Priestess, because for me, these cards are like similar a little bit. Just that this is a feminine and this is a masculine card, which tells me as well that you are doing both works. And if you are a female, this is a beautiful card for you, because this means you are in your feminine. You are in your beautiful feminine energy, and that's the starting point for you, and that's where you go back to, and that's what you work with. And after that kind of work, then you go out with what you have achieved, received, gained by the High Priestess energy. In May, you go outside as the Chariot, which is a forward movement. But the Chariot here has as well, it's a balanced card, because he is moving, he is about to move, but it's a balanced move between the black and the white Sphinx. He is in control, he is as well centered as the High Priestess here. So maybe you might be going out here with some project or some communication, or you might be moving somewhere for work. And it's interesting because here the hermit, in the light, there is a star there inside. And the chariot has a star as well in the center of his crown. And the background of the chariot is this blue sky, representing a blue sky with stars. And the hermit comes as well from this blue, has this background of the blue sky and night. So the chariot comes after this period of going inside in the darkness. And this is as well meditation. So you might want to work further on your meditation and continue to have a relationship, maintain a relationship with your higher self. And then you are guided from this intuition or from this knowledge or from this wisdom that you gain in this meditation process, which you keep then as a star in your journey. In June we have the Three of Swords. And as I said, I see you actually in 2020, at least the people that I'm reading here for, it's more like it's not a romantic reading at first. It's more like personal development and self-realization reading, and it's more related maybe to work, to projects, to things that you want to achieve in your professional life, or related to your passion, or to your business, or to your finances. And that's why this Three of Swords, which sometimes when we are dealing with a relationship means a heartbreak, for me here, it's a heartbreak, but it's a different heartbreak. And maybe it's just a disappointment, because maybe you will be going out here, as we see with a chariot, where you will be going out maybe with a project, or you're publishing something, or and then, or something it's not working as you planned here as a Queen of Swords. And that's okay. And that's okay. Because that's something that you have to know as a queen, as a fool, even in the High Priestess, even the Hermit knows that we will have these moments of heartbreak, of disappointment, where things will not go as the way we planned it. But that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that we are progressing. That means that it's part of the process. Because that's most of the time the reason why people don't try things out, and why they don't take a leap of faith, because they're always afraid of failing. And I guess I think the people who take the leap of faith, it's not that they believe that, oh, nothing will go wrong. No, they just know, yes, some things will not work. But I am still ready to do the work, to continue, because I will have satisfactions later. So in June, or at any point in 2020, or in your life, when you feel this moment of heartbreak, of disappointment, of things not going as you planned them, know that this is just a temporary thing. And I like to say about this card, it's like Yeah, it's just like the rain in the middle of summer. It's just a short, rainy time period, and then the skies will get clear again. It's just something temporary. And take the time as well to deal with it, but don't stay there forever. Move on and remember the wisdom of the hermit and the star. That is something that's like your long-term goal and vision. That's the vision that the Queen of Swords has here. Keep that in mind. That's your goal. That's your finish line, if there is a finish line at all. So this is temporary. This is a summer storm. It's a short, crazy summer storm, and it will be over sooner than you think. But it's just part of the process. It's just part of the growing process. Now in July you have the Nine of Wands, and maybe due to this heartbreak moment, painful moment, or this storm, maybe this is even just like, you not even getting the results that you wanted to get. You are probably getting some results. It's just that you are not getting the ones that you planned. But it's okay. Be patient. Things take time. Most important, you are doing what you want to do. You are working in that direction. And yeah, everything else, it's working. Even that things are not working is part of the working. It's part of the plan, part of success, part of failure. It's a very important part of success, if this is a failure at all. Or maybe you are, sometimes we get melancholic and we think back of some past love. Yes, maybe that's that too, because I told you here that I don't see a relationship, but I will talk about that at the end of the reading. Maybe you are thinking like, yes, things are going well, but what about love? Why am I still heartbroken, or why am I still alone, and why it's love not working for me? Because sometimes when people like you who want to achieve the best in themselves, they prefer, even in a not conscious way, they prefer to work on themselves first. So first we have to be achieving some things on our own, putting some things in the right track, and then we will be able to be with the people that we deserve to be. Because without achieving that, what we can achieve on our own, we will be in relationships that are not satisfying. So if that is that, keep in mind that things are coming, and that you are almost there in that sense too. In July, the Nine of Wands, which means if the process has been a little bit difficult, or if you are facing some failure, you might be feeling a little bit stuck and hiding and being a little bit more cautious about things. Because this wand here, which represents project and passion, it's at the same time are there, but at the same time they are function like a fence, keeping that person a little bit divided from the environment. And we see here that he's a little bit wounded or tired. You might be as well tired a little bit because of the work that you are doing. But the nines are just one step before the tens. You are almost there. Don't give up. Don't doubt. And maybe even the Three of Swords is a doubting moment. Don't doubt, please. Keep on doing the things that you are doing. Don't step back. This might be a moment of fear too. And that might be, well, possible because you have all this bam, 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 beautiful major arcanas energy going. And then it's normal that sometimes, we have doubts. As I said, it's not about not doubting anymore at all, not being afraid at all. It's about recognizing that and just understand that, I know that feeling. But, I've decided to do this. I will go back to meditation. I will go back to that wisdom. I will keep my eyes on that star. But Nine of Wands is telling as well, it's almost there. But it can as well be a little bit of fear and doubt. Don't doubt yourself. Keep the star in mind. And that moment of, doubting and second guessing yourself, that might be that moment. In August, you have the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups as well, for me, it's a little bit a moment of illusion. Maybe some things are being offered to you. You may receive some offerings, but maybe I don't see this being what you want. So be aware, because Seven of Cups, for me, it's like a shortcut. It's like an illusion. It's like when people are trying to sell you a lot for a price that you think, it's a lot, but still it's less for the things they are trying to offer to you. And maybe some people are coming in and saying, if this didn't work, maybe you want to do this, you want to do that. Be careful, because this clouds here, you don't see what's behind. The clouds are preventing you from seeing clearly. Like, the Queen of Swords, she can cut through the clouds. Don't get illusionated by these options. And don't stop doing your work. Whatever work you do, don't stop doing your work, because this might be a shortcut. This might be like an option. Don't take the long road, take the shortcut, and then something, it's not as it was supposed to be. For me, this is like a shortcut card, and wanting to get the results without doing the work. And is as well a card of wanting to go back to some old way of doing, of dealing. So it's more than natural that we have these temptations, or sometimes when we are on our way, we are tired, and then we think like, oh my god, this is so crazy, I'm going back, I know I should have done this. Like that nasty voice in our head starts rising up. But yeah, take that as a sign that you are progressing, and please be wise. Keep that wisdom, that star that you have gained in your meditation. Keep it in mind to see through these clouds. Don't be don't let yourself be influenced from how things look like. This is all about superficial things. It's like getting the results without doing the work. You know those options. There are many of those that are being offered to us. Shortcut to everything, but it's not, it's not possible. It's an illusion. In August, you have the Hierophant. This is a Taurus energy. And I think that's for me, the Hierophant is your energy. You are sticking to traditions. And tradition in this sense, I mean the plan that you had, you are just staying firm. You are not giving in this doubt, in these illusions, in these options that promise you cups with satisfaction, but are not that star of wisdom that the Hermit has in his hand. It's not that enlightenment, it's not that light. And it's balanced too, it's a little bit like the High Priestess card. It's just as well here from the outside. So even in the outside world, keep your position, keep your firm position. Keep in mind where you are going. Be traditional when it's needed. Today in our contemporary society, sometimes we are being criticized or people are joking at us because we want to keep some certain traditions. And the thing is that not all the traditions are bad. So maybe you want to stick to some tradition, maybe in the way how you work. Maybe you have some sort of rules that you don't want to break. Or maybe in your work that you are doing, you want to work with something traditional. It's not always everything about the new. Keeping a certain tradition is as well a very remarkable and important work. If you are doing some creative work, maybe you want to work with something more traditional. I'm thinking about painting, for example, in art and in contemporary art. There are a lot of artists that they don't paint anymore, or painting is declared for dead. And here, actually, I have to make the connection with God. God is being declared for dead, and people are not believing anymore, and there is no spirituality. Maybe you are sticking to that. That's your tradition. Whatever it is, whatever it signifies for you, and it's not limiting, but it is there to give you foundations, that is something that you want to keep, apparently. So I see you in September keeping a position, maintaining your position in this journey of yours, and not being, moved or not being influenced by other things around you. And by that I mean by this Seven of Cups, all the other promises and all the other illusions. And by that I mean in October you have the Five of Wands as well. This is as well some energy in your environment, people having opinions and conversation, and then there is a discussion about something and people are talking about it, and you know how we get involved sometimes in some issues all around, which are influencing us, which make us second guess ourselves, doubt ourselves. So this energy of the Hierophant is in between this this a little bit shaky and turbulent and low vibrations energy. But I see you sticking to your tradition, to that which you believe. And the Hierophant is as well related to institutions. So you might be approaching an institution. Maybe you want to study, like this passion of yours that you started, this leap of faith that you are taking. You want to go in an institution with that. Or let's say you believe in marriage. And then you get some options, or you meet people who are like, oh no, I don't believe in love, I don't believe in marriage, I don't believe in monogam relationship, and you are sticking to that because you believe in that, and that's okay. So people around you might see it differently. They might not be coming with you. They might be even fighting you or against your idea in terms of, communication. But maybe you want to choose more traditional way, and maybe you want to to study. Maybe you're submitting an application for studies, or maybe you want, with this passion of yours, to be recognized by an institution, that it's maybe more traditional, not alternative. But as I said, for me, it's you sticking to your tradition. And this is somehow Taurian energy and Capricorn energy. So it fits very well to that, the entire development. And in October, be aware of what's going around you, and don't get involved. And I don't see you at all getting involved. These are people having opinion about your life, your work, and then they will try to get you into a discussion, but you are not at all dealing with that. Indeed, in November you have the Emperor, and Emperor, it's almost like looking at them, not moving a finger, just staring at them, the corner of their eyes, and like, oh yeah, okay, this is happening, but I'm not doing anything about it. I'm just doing what I am supposed to do. And I think this is you too. This is your energy. This is just more a fiery energy. And this comes more at the end of the year, where you are becoming a little bit more aggressive, but not in the bad way. But after you maybe, stick to your plan, stick to your vision, stick to your tradition, you want to be more, because, the Hierophant, it's an institution, it doesn't change. It's like a Taurian energy. It likes to keep what it has. While the Emperor, it's more about expanding. It's more about, the empire. So this is you expanding more, being more fiery with your vision, going more out there. But this foundation that the Hierophant gives you, that's very important. And this is the expansion that Jupiter gives you. So in November, you are maybe doing something. You are approaching, you are applying, you are talking, you are going out there. But you are very centered. You have this major cards here that all signify that you are balanced. You are centered. You are poised. It's beautiful. And the Emperor here, which is an Aries energy, it's crowned by the energy of the Chariot, which represents actually Cancer, Cancerian energy. It's more watery, so it's nice, but they both, for me, represent movement. It's not like a crazy, fast forward movement. It's more like stable movement. Persistent, very Capricorn. The goat wants to achieve, to go higher in the mountain. But it's a slow upward movement, but it's a movement. And in December, we have the beautiful Queen of Wands, of Pentacles, which is very beautiful. And I think the Queen of Pentacles are you. Looking at your achievement, what you have so far, nurturing your own project, your own environment, what you have achieved so far, being happy and not even looking at the future, not being worried about the future. You are with a bag, let's say, if this is 2020, you are not looking into the future because you are, first of all, doing very well where you are, and that's the most important thing. When we are well where we are and we are happy and we are doing what we are supposed to do, we are nurturing it, we are taking care of our environment, we are being open, everything else comes to us. Because it's like we are doing half of the work. And we know, we expect that the other half will meet us halfway. Queen of Pentacles, it's as well earth energy. But like differently from the Queen of Swords, who it's more like moving, has a vision, looks into the future. It's more direct, more directed towards the outside. The Queen of Pentacles, she's being creative. She's working on her product. And she's happy and she's in nature and everything is beautiful. And it's only peace, love, growth, very stable. This is financial stability. Due to this work of yours that you are doing, you will end up in 2020 having your financial stability. You are alone. Yes. But that's not all, because look here, after the Hermit, we have the King of Pentacles. Isn't that beautiful? So the Queen of Pentacles is doing her job, is doing her thing, working on her thing, being happy, and she is attracting into her life a King of Pentacles in 2021 or in the future, I don't know. And you know, that's what she needs. And somebody who has its own project as well, who has its own created world. But please keep in mind the Hermit and the wisdom and this higher purpose, the star, this light energy that you need, that the world needs. So you are working with something that comes from the inside of you, and the world needs it as well. And meditation, it's necessary. Very beautiful, dear Scorpio. For all the signs, after I see the cards and I think about the readings, then I choose a prayer or an affirmation or a mantra that you need to use during the year, that you can use during the year when you have difficulties, and that will help you come further. And I take these prayers, this affirmation from this beautiful book, Whispers from Eternity, from Paramhansa Yogananda, which is my spiritual guru, Indian guru. And for you, I have chosen the prayer or the affirmation number 94. And it's this: demand for wisdom. Wisdom is the one thing that is driving you through this year. And whenever you have difficulties, stick to that wisdom. Demand for wisdom. O Spirit, thou art I am thou. Thou art wisdom, I am wisdom. Thou art bliss, I am bliss. I think it's beautiful because it makes you aware of the connection that we have with the divine spirit, and that we are created from this divine spirit. And if the divine spirit is wisdom, we too have that wisdom. And if the divine spirit is bliss, we too are bliss. So please keep in mind to always connect and associate yourself with your higher self, with the spirit. Okay, my dear Scorpios, I hope you liked my reading. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe. I will be doing monthly readings as well for 2020. And if you want a private reading, you will find my email below. I wish you all the best. Bye.